What's up, everybody? We're gonna do audio check here. I wish StreamYard had like a little thing that I could see my audio level. I think I'm gonna go into the settings. I see audio coming through, so we should be good. We got a later stream going on here. I don't know why my logo light just is such a pain. I don't know why this little thing. There it goes. It's working. I don't know why it doesn't turn on all the time. Probably something to do with my automations. All right, so we are multi-streaming as per usual. I think we're gonna be just doing the standard thing. Like going forward, we're gonna be streaming on all the different platforms. Apparently, Twitch has revised their policy against multi-streaming, which is good. So yeah, we were gonna do it anyways because I figured, what's the point if we're not using the account, and if it gets popped because they don't like us multi-streaming, then whatever. I am going to be using this lapel mic a little bit more. I'm assuming that it's sounding pretty good. We are running this through all sorts of audio processing. But tonight I'm going to be working on the Kingroon KP3S. This was graciously lent to us by my buddy Brian. I actually met him at Murph, and we were talking about how the printer is in desperate need of some upgrades. And yeah, the firmware is not great. So the things I have here are some of the parts we actually used from the KP3. And this is the little offset adapter to mount the LCD. And this is in our firmware package. And this just requires a couple M3 bolts and nuts. And the screen on this, and the screen is the same, and the board is very similar. The funny thing is the board actually works with the existing board definitions I had. So in exchange for him letting me borrow this printer so we didn't have to purchase it, he's going to be getting a couple upgrades here. We're going to be fitting this with our brand new EZABL NG auto bed leveling kit. We have our own probe mount here, and then after the stream, I'm going to officially push out the firmware for this because we have to have the mount here. So we got our probe mount here, printed in ABS. We'll be adding those to the site too as well, so you can get them pre-printed. And one of the things, and I haven't seen these on a printer in a while, is it's got the springy couplers, which are really, they're shit. Like, there's no other way to put it. They're horrible. So we sell these upgraded couplers here, and I really like these because they're solid. And on top of being solid here, they allow the motor to, or the coupler to separate in the event of a nozzle crash. So if your nozzle crashes, these pull apart. They're fairly hard to pull apart on your own, but the torque from your motor is strong enough to break this loose. So basically, instead of it just driving your nozzle into the bed over and over again, it will separate and prevent damage to your hot end. So these are really nice, whether you're using an EZABL or a BL Touch or even a printer without an auto bed leveling system. If you have the little springy couplers like we're going to see on this one, highly recommend getting these. They're really cheap. We sell them in our store. They're $4.99. So yeah, let's see here. We're just going to jump right into it. So the firmware, I have most of them done. And I will just, one more thing about the couplers, because I know you guys that are watching may not have this printer. You're just watching because it's fun. This will fit basically most printers that are on the market. So if you have an 8mm lead screw and a standard 5mm motor shaft for your stepper motor, these will work. Yeah, these are just really good couplers. We've been selling these for years. I'm a huge fan of them. On some of the printers, I've actually started replacing the solid ones, like Creality. Like if I had to choose between the springy and the solid ones, I'll take the solid ones. But like in our print farm stuff, we've been changing out the solid ones for these in case of a nozzle crash, because eventually like something's not going to work right, and we don't want to be dealing with jamming the nozzle into the bed if something happens. And it could happen if you have a bad end stop switch. It can happen if your ABL sensor fails. Just a little cheap insurance policy, and these are really good quality. So I did want to mention, you guys might notice that there is an Amazon affiliate link in our store, in our video descriptions now. I understand that you guys can't get everything from us as much as I would like you to. They did sort out our account issues. I was really, really surprised that they did. but they did. So if you guys want to support us without spending money, and you are an Amazon customer, even though I'm personally not a big fan of Amazon, they're kind of my last resort. I'm not an idiot. I understand that people shop there. They're, you know, a behemoth. They're hard not to. So if you guys want to support us, you can grab the Amazon affiliate link from our video description and use that for your bookmark. And then whatever you buy, when you click that link, we'll get a small kickback, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I appreciate it. So I see Dad Bod Medic Nate said, following on Twitch, on Twitter/X, heard you say Twitch, so I had to find you there. Thank you guys. Yeah, the more you guys can follow us, I mean, I look at it this way. I know there's some people that are like I'm not a big fan of YouTube, but they're a necessary evil. We'd be stupid not to stream on them, you know, but I am going to be planning some stuff, maybe not this year, but next year, that will be stuff that is going to be fun, but not appropriate for YouTube. So those will be on other platforms like Rumble and possibly X. I don't know how X is about certain content, but some fun stuff that I want to do. So, but anyways, I will stop rambling here. This will be kind of a more laid-back stream, and I do have Rumble chat open here. If you guys are watching on Rumble, I see we've got 15 people watching over there. So I got the Rumble chat open here, and I'm gonna move my screen over to the side here. So once I switch over to this camera, I'll be able to actually see the chats going on. So yeah, I like Rumble. Like, I'm glad to see more content creators coming to Rumble, because it was just like kind of a conservative echo chamber, and that gets old, even though, like, you know, even if you're okay with that type of content, like, it gets old, right? But there's more and more content coming. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of Lo-Fi Girl, like this stream of just like chill music. Like, I listen to them all the time. They're even on there now. It's awesome. So I'm hoping at some point StreamYard will get Rumble support. And now I did send this link out into our internal company chat. So Krista or Tor may drop in. If they do, I'll switch over to my headphones. But for now, we're just going to roll with this. So I've already got the bottom off of the KP3S here, and you can see my buddy's already done a couple mods. He printed a bigger spool holder on it. But other than that, this is stock, which is perfect for doing firmware work. Now, I am going to see about putting this LCD upgrade on, and I think what we're going to have to do in order to do that is to remove the board here to get to the LCD. I did try... Let me see how it looks with Marlin, because right now it's going to be, it's kind of like a beta build. Everything works, the printer prints, but I'll show you what I mean. So I want to see how the vertical Marlin screen looks here. So we're going to do a quick firmware update here. You can see it works, but it's sideways. So basically this screen mount would go here and put the screen in a landscape mode. So this would come up, and personally, I think that'd be better than where it is now, because this is just kind of awkward. Like, you can use it, right? It's fine, but not ideal. So I'm going to switch over to, I'm going to switch over and pull up VS Code here, and we're going to mess with some of the settings here. And this is not something you'll have to do, because we're going to just make sure everything works. But it looks like I was messing with the Creality V4X stuff here. So this is going to be part of the Kingroon V12 package, since it's the same CPU and board. The way we split up our configs is based on like what PIO environment it uses. So this one can share one with the KP3S Pro. Again, like, this looks like it's an MKS board. They did a pretty good. Did a pretty good job at getting everything built down to a cost without making it super unreliable. So I'm going to go ahead and compile this really quick. This will just be for a stock one. Now, one of the things you guys might notice as we've been doing, especially with newer ones, we are going back into our library and doing builds for older ones. But we're going to start including stock printer precompiled bin files. Now, these bin files will not be updated unless there's like a bug that affects the stability. But for people that want to just use our firmware really quick without having to compile it, one thing about StreamYard is when I run a compile here, it will get kind of laggy. So I apologize for that, but it'll catch back up. Look, the last Kingroon printer. I wonder if I should just wait until I'm done compiling here. I feel like I should have a remote desktop connection so it doesn't just eat my CPU up. I see Dad Bod Medic Nate said he uses Restream. I think we've used Restream before. Sorry about that. My sinuses are bugging me today. All right, so I got a Robin Nano.bin here. I'm going to drag this over to the SD card, and we're going to update this. And I'm going to see how this looks on the LCD, just like this. Let's see. There we go. So it's updating. Now this is one of the few. This is one of the few printers that actually has a touchscreen we can do stuff with. Okay, so did it? It didn't look like it rotated. It updated, but it didn't rotate. Maybe I didn't code that option in there yet. I'm probably going to just. I'm probably going to be doing. Probably just be like, hey, because I think we did with the KP3. Oh, that's the rotate. Oh, if it's upside down. I should have read my own release notes here. All right, hang on. Let me switch this around. So let me see here. I'm going to see what it looks like, because I think the reason I didn't put this in here was because of things not working correct. All right, Tor's here, so let me get my headset on so you guys don't have an echo. Although, you know what? Let's see how it is, Tor. You want to pop in and see?
Yeah.
Let me know if you guys get an echo.
Yeah, I heard the echo.
You hear the echo?
I do.
Let me see if I tell NVIDIA Broadcast that that's my speakers, if it's gonna do stuff. Hang on. I know echo cancellation. Turn on echo cancellation here for StreamYard. Go ahead and talk. Let's see how this is. Can you hear me now?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hear me? I can bear. If you were talking at the same time, it'll echo a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm looking here to see basically if we can get away with like, what's the word I'm looking for? The getting away, keeping for people that don't want to print them out, keeping the screen.
Oh yeah, the vertical, position. What we talked about before.
Yeah, and I think it's 90 is the one I'd want. TFT rotation 90. So just for right now, I'm going to comment this out. We're just going to do some testing here. I put my comment lines here. So hopefully, my buddy Brian, it's going to lag again. I am definitely going to set up a VM to do this in on the server so I can do my compiles without the stream dying.
Yeah. There he went. I don't know if I'm laggy for everybody, so.
You should be okay. Like, you shouldn't lag.
Oh yeah, your video went way behind there.
I'll get it set up again. All right, we should be good now.
Gotta make sure all the new fish are doing okay.
We good? We good now? All right. I am just I'm actually spinning up a VM right now, really quick.
So how do you like it so far?
The Kingroon?
Yeah.
I mean, I was playing with it for a little bit. Like for the price, I think it's a really good machine. To be completely honest.
Yeah, I've seen it for I think 140 or less
Yeah.
on
No,
some of the
it's yeah. It's really hard to beat.
like full
Looking
linear
here.
rails. Is it all metal?
Hmm. What do you mean for the hot end?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It is a direct drive. It's got like a Titan extruder knockoff going on, which is fine. I'll take even like the V1, original Titan design. It's still a great design. It works, right? I'll take that for
Yeah.
a stock machine anyway, any day.
And for the price, you can upgrade it to your heart's content, and it already has linear rails, so it has a nice motion system if you can keep them maintained.
I see Dave here. Doesn't seem to affect Tor at all. Yeah, it's my local computer. I'm literally installing Windows 11 on a VM right now. I'm just going to get it going, so it can do that. I'll just have to. I think if I get away with just GitHub Desktop and I can probably get away with just GitHub Desktop and VS Code, because that's basically all I need for is compiles.
Hey Jerry, how's it going? How's your big print going?
Oh, sorry about that.
Why not just a Linux fan? And this is the Robin clone.
The
Robin
what?
Nano. The main
So
board.
yeah, I wouldn't call it a clone. So here's the thing: like this board is actually made by MKS.
It's an
So I
OEM.
wouldn't. Yeah, it's like a white label would be the word for it. So, sorry, I was just why not just a Linux VM? Because I want it to work.
And it's
Don't get me wrong. I have plenty of Linux VMs running. They're just for like servers. For anything with a desktop environment, I'm going with Windows. I have extra licenses. Oh yeah, I have to turn on a TPM module for Windows 11. So, let's see here.
Have a good one, Eli.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it here. Yeah. Also, if you guys are looking at getting deals on filament, we have all filaments, including Polymaker, 15% off right now, for a couple more days. So we shipped a bunch of plastic out today. So,
Yeah.
give me one second. I'm just getting Windows going. I had to enable the TPM for the virtual machine. There it goes. Now it's happy. Let's go. There we go. Okay, it's installing Windows 11. All right, so let's come back here. I'm going to remove this from the stream. I got to copy the bin file over to the SD card. So the funny thing is, if you download just regular Marlin for this, it won't actually compile the correct file name. You have to manually rename it. I have fixed that. So
You changed.
let's see how the LCD looks with the rotation 90 on. I don't know how Marlin handles the vertical screen.
There's a little bit of a glare from the overhead light.
Eli, are you the guy who was talking about earlier that's going to ship us his SV06? I think it was SV06 or SV06 Plus, who's having a bunch of issues. Yeah. I just read this. You're one of my favorite content creators. Love seeing the work you do. Well, your printer will probably be a stream. Do you guys like when we do the streams? Okay, yeah, look at. Oh man.
And, there's glare from the.
So Marlin does not like vertical.
Oh.
It's not a fan of that. Okay.
Well, wait. Don't you have to the code below it? Isn't that the calibration for the touchscreen? Wouldn't that need to be updated as well?
Well, no. It's not even displaying it correctly though. That's the problem. If the calibration is off, it will still display correctly, but this is not displaying correctly. I'm trying to see if they have alternate ones here. So I have an MKS Robin TFT24 specified. There's a 320 by 240 Comet. Go away. He's already sticking his nose over here. Oh my god, just get it over with. Come on. Just get it over with. Every fucking stream. Every stream. There we go. It's like he thinks I don't love him. Are we good now? He's like, a few more pets and then we'll be good. a few more pets. He does love me. He's
9 more parts and then you'll be gluing it. Oh, video gluing it.
I'm gonna try. You know what? I'm gonna try here. They have this TFT color UI I haven't messed with. Let's go ahead and try this and see. See how that looks. I'm sorry if people are like, oh, I didn't want to see you work on code. I wanted a quick run through. I mean, if you guys want me to just cut to the chase and put the stuff on here and we figure out the screen later, just let me know. You guys run the stream here.
Yeah.
And my stream's gonna go screwy again. I'm compiling. Can I help you? There it is. There he is. This dog, I tell you what. Hi.
I haven't seen my cat in a bit. Probably asleep.
All right. We got a build here. I'm going to copy this over. We're going to see. I haven't messed with their color UI. Comment, you are not crawling all the way in my lap. No. 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 I'm... Okay. Yes, a 3DP Dog.com on Rumble said, great 3D printer for the money. Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, I'm pretty impressed with, like, just how nice it is. Let's see how this is. Okay, that's clearly supposed to be a bitmap. Oh, I know what this is. I've seen this UI before. I think I'll have to play with this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play with this. We can always release a firmware update to do
Either or.
Yeah. So, because I still got this for a couple of days, and honestly, I kind of want to buy one. I mean, the thing here is it's almost it's the same price as SVO5.
They are not $129 right now. Hold up.
They're $179.
What's $129 here?
We're compiling again.
KP3S version 3.0. Okay, that's not it. This is the Pro.
Hello. It's a Pro.
Yeah,
not the 3.0. It's the Pro. Look at this baby.
Well, just the S is just the KP3S 3.0 is like $129.
He's so fashion. Okay.
That's not bad.
The original the KP3 or the KP3S?
For the KP3S
Down.
3.0 is $129.
That's not bad. The original KP. So the KP3S, I actually just gave mine to Matthew, and I had the original with the old extruder setup. And they're really a lot of fans. I think the one they're selling now has a similar setup to this. Yeah. See, so this one works perfectly.
Where's the Pro S1?
Yeah. See, these work fine. All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
Oh,
we're gonna go ahead and.
It's 200 by 200, not 180 by 180.
Yeah, this is a fairly large build size. All right, so I'm going to see if this LCD like mount that was used on the KP3S Pro fits on this, and I think all we should have to do is take out these 3 screws to move the board out of the way. Now I have the printer unplugged. Before people are like, "Oh, God, tell people to unplug the printer." All right. So it looks like we got 3 screws holding the board in. Man, it looks like we should have enough cable slack too to move the LCD up. And I already did like kind of a rough fitment check, like just kind of putting everything where it is. Funny thing is, this is an adorable little power supply. It's claimed it's a 300 watt. It's this
Yeah, I was
weird.
just about
It's
to
this.
ask.
It's this weird. So the funny thing, here's the thing: these companies use like the same colors, like it's the same red color as Meanwell, but it's obviously not a Meanwell. But like like why not just make your own things instead of trying to copy people, right? Like that's what I don't get. So I'm gonna disconnect this ribbon cable just so I can get this out of the way. And okay, we get access right to the board here, or to the LCD. So I'm gonna just take this, and it looks like it should just be a straight swap here. Just like the KP3 Pro or the KP3S was.
The S1 Pro S1. It looks like it's pretty much the same thing, but they added another lead or another linear rail on X and Y, so it's double on all 3 axes.
Okay, so this mounts to this bracket like this. Oh, hang on, I'm just trying to make sure I get the orientation right. All right, so mounts like this. So this goes in the screen hole here. Let's see. I'm assuming this should fit. It's tight, but it works. Okay, the screw holes all line up. So it's the same screen that's on the KP3 the KP3S. Because this bracket, if you guys download our firmware, this bracket's actually included in the firmware. And someone sent this to me. So this is not one we made. I was going to make one, and someone said, "Hey, I already made one." Or they found one that was already made. I don't remember where we got it from at this point. But it's been there for a while. So yeah, you screw the stuff in there, and then you'll just need 2 M3 bolts and nuts, which I'm sure at this point most people who have printers just have those laying around at this point. If you don't, we do sell screw assortments. So I basically took the screen out, I replaced it with this printed bracket. It's a 3-piece thing, and it looks like a lot, but it's not that bad. You just put the screws in like I'm doing here right now.
It's a parrot.
There's a cat. I'm distracted. It's a parrot. All right, so I'm just going to grab 2 M3 screws and 2 nuts. I got these nuts over here that I can use. I think M3x8s will work. Yeah, M3x8 should be enough. All right. I can tell I use M3x8s the most because those are the ones that are missing the most out of my screw assortment here.
I have had to buy multiple packs of just M3x8s.
Yeah. So I do remember these being kind of a tight fit. Oh no, my nuts are running away. All right, I'm gonna thread these in through the top first, and then I'm gonna use the screws to pull the nuts into the printed part. I found you via hours of research on Google. How long have I been doing this?
Oh,
I want to say 7 or 8 years now.
Did I talk to you on the phone today?
Someone sent in a ticket. I think that was him. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. I handle so many tickets every day. It's hard for me to remember names. But yeah, this is why I'm not quoting the shipping label right now. Yeah, I asked him. if he had the original box. Because here's the thing: like if someone has the original box, I don't mind them shipping the printer here, especially the ones like that where I can then upgrade it and then
pretty much just put it back in the box.
yeah, put it back in the box. You know, and that printer, since there's no V rollers, it's easier for me to be like, make sure it's not going to get completely screwed coming over here. All right, so these fit in nice. Let's see if the bed clears.
Oh no.
Okay, the bed clears the mount here, or the LCD here. All right, so that's good. Are you talking about this mount, Tor?
No, I was thinking about the flex plate, but I didn't see.
No, I think either this is one he got from somewhere else, or it came with one. This is not ours.
I saw a few of the options that you can get them with a flex plate.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna, because the tolerances on these are so tight. If I used longer screws here, I could pull it through. Actually, I'm just gonna do that. I don't feel like using the soldering iron to.
Yeah.
I don't feel like using the soldering iron to pull the screws through the plastic right now. I'm just gonna put longer screws in.
I get to replace a fan.
Yeah.
Of course, it's on my boron.
So that's gonna take forever. I'm gonna use them 3x12s. That'll give me enough extra room to pull the screw through. Yeah, Eli, basically, like you can ship if you want the printer yourself, but we get discounted rates, and then I'll be able to give you a full price. Like, so those of you guys that are looking to have us do stuff, especially if you're local, like even I've had people that have been out of state that have driven like 3 or 4 hours to see us, like one way. If it's on like a day where I don't have a ton of stuff going on, or I can plan in advance, a lot of things I can do same day, and there's some, there's actually quite a few things to do around here. A lot of good food spots, but also I don't mind as long as it's not a crazy day. If I get it scheduled, I don't mind you hanging out in the shop while I'm working on your machine either. As long as you're not too much in the way. So, but really depends on everything going on. All right. So I just put longer screws in here. So basically these will protrude a little bit more, and it'll pull the nut into the mount. Now, one of the other things, if you have a soldering iron or something, you can always heat the M3 nut up to have it go in there. Maybe, Tor, maybe I should have you redesign this part to be a little bit nicer in terms of the tolerances, because it goes in pretty easy. Like, I'm not really struggling here to get the nut in. Oh, I dropped my coupler. So you can see the nut is pulled in here. This housing's been on our KP3S that I gave to Matt for a couple years now, and it's still holding up really well. Nothing's cracked on it. All right. This one's giving me a little more of a fight, but that's okay. We're going to get it in there. All right. But yeah, no, I really do like this machine. Like, hey, yeah, there we go.
Pretty solid.
Well, it's all linear rails. I was like thinking too. I was like, here's the thing. Like, yeah, I just bought the SV05, which is a larger machine than this. Not by that much for print volume, but a physically larger machine. But the thing is, like, this is linear rails. Like this is going to do stuff that a larger printer can't. Like being able to print like really quick.
Really quick and really accurately without much.
Yeah. So there are trade-offs, and I feel like a lot of people don't highlight that. Like if you don't need the print volume, and you want to like start playing with tuning, especially if you're going to get into input shaping with Marlin, or input shaping, because our firmware is running Marlin on the back end, so we have input shaping like on Unified 2. You're better off with a smaller printer because you can crank the speed up a bit. Versus a larger one, you're going to get more ringing and stuff, and input shaping can help with that, but at a certain point you get diminishing returns, right?
Yeah, right, even my big S4, my S4, even with Clipper and input shaping, it doesn't go fast.
Yeah.
Like, you can
Okay.
only push
So
the printer so fast.
this one, I'm gonna see before I screw this screen. I'm gonna see which orientation I need to put it in. I want to say. I want to say it'll just go like this. Let me see. Because I want the ribbon cable to come around like this. So I'll put this back through the hole here. And it's got to connect to the board then. This is a little fiddly, but I promise it's worth it because then you actually have access to the LCD. So I'm going to put it like this. This does have the mounting holes here. I don't think this is directional. I think this will go in either way. Will this go in either way? I'm pretty sure it will. Yeah. Yeah, so this is going to mount like this. So if you guys are putting this in, you want the Kingroon TFT24 on the right side here. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put just 2 screws in here. Actually, what I should have done is I should have only put 2 screws into the bracket in the bottom because it doesn't need a ton, but whatever. We got extra screws. I'll pull 2 small ones out of my stash here. So, but this is for sure a white labeled MKS TFT. I know I got some stubby screws in here. Are the M3x8s long enough? No, those might be too long. So I think those are going to protrude into.
This fan is struggling.
What's up?
I said this fan is struggling.
What's wrong with it? It's just failing.
Just shot, yeah.
You got a lot of. I'm assuming you have a lot of hours on it.
Yeah, it isn't always on, and it's not a printer I turn off.
How have you not put those on plugs yet?
It's the V0. I don't have space.
What do you mean you don't have space?
I have nice clean wiring on it.
Huh?
I said I have nice clean wiring on it. That's what.
Yeah, but like put a easy plug on it. Clipper works with Tasmota plugs, so it'll work with our easy plugs.
No, this is a Marlin one.
Well, even better. I'm assuming you're running Octoprint then.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, that's why. It's all running off the 24 volt. I'd have to.
Well then, yeah, just get an adapter. Do you have any PoE switches there?
I don't.
Okay. All right, there we go. So that's in. The cable's through the bottom. I'm going to push this in. This should just slide into the printed housing if memory serves correct. So I'll just pressure fit into this housing here. Come on. Yeah, it's a tight fit. Oh, we're so close. Just on the corners here. Come on. You can do it. You got to get this in like at the perfect angle. There we go. All right. One of the little screws came out of the back of the screen. Oh, no. Oh, well. It'll be fine. I'll put another one in later. Okay, so I'm going to reconnect the LCD cable here. I should have put a longer screw in those other ones. So the little M3x4s I think I used, those are not long enough to bite in. Okay. Screen still good? Yeah, we're still good. All right. Let's see. Am I going to need to rotate it in the firmware?
Probably.
Nope. So isn't that much better than having it flat? It's so much better than having
functional is the best way.
There we go. All right. Oh, thank you, Eli. He's heading to bed. He gave us a super chat. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
Super chat. We got to make a little thing like Jerry has for the super chats, where it's like super chat. All right.
Okay.
His screen's a little dirty, but hey, that works. Like the bed clears it. Now, this has a Z end stop right here. I'm going to see if the lines go, like if the lines are easy. I don't think it's part of a wire harness, so I should be able to pull this in and then just snip the legs and put those into the screw terminal, because it just gets terminated right to the what's the word I'm looking for? Terminate right to the switch. So the EZABL kits on all the printers except for I think like the Chiron and like one other. Basically, it's assumed that most printers, unless it's otherwise noted in our installation information, that it's the EZABL is replacing your ZN stop. So this mount is actually designed to use the factory screws that are on the left side of the carriage here. So there's no additional screws needed for this. And right now, like if you guys just wanted to update your printer to the firmware, once I'll push the release out tonight before I go to bed. So the firmware will be on there. You can see there, that mount's nice and solid on there. The ABL probe goes in here. Let's get the wires pulled in. So I'm going to unscrew the the ZN stop here. So I'm going to raise this up. Also going to switch out the coupler too while we're in here. I always give my machines back to people better than I got them. I see that there's literally just an MK8 sock shoved down here. I just noticed that. I don't know if it came like that or if Brian did that. That's kind of funny. Those are 2 millimeter screws. So we're going to take the ZN stop off, and we're just going to snip the wires going to this, because we will not need it once the ABL is on here. Nope, sorry that it's not focusing here. So I'm unscrewing the 2 screws for the ZN stop, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and just snip these off. Now, if you want to have it so you can reverse the mod, you can leave a little extra wire here so you can splice the wires back in, but you're not going to want to go back to manually leveling. I'm going to take the little screw off of here, which is the Z stop. We don't need this anymore. This is not going to hit anything. Now, I am going to check, because I think I have one of our solid bed mount pieces sitting around here. I am going to check to see if our solid bed mount kit will fit these. The dogs are being annoying. Remo, you're not going out. Lay down.
If it fits those orange springs, it normally will.
What's that?
With those orange springs, like it's 90% of the time will work.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the height, because obviously we don't. If we lower this down, it's going to hit the LCD, because this like clears it now.
Yeah.
So like if you tighten the springs down all the way, it will hit that LCD mount. But as you can see, it works fine. Like, go lay down. You're not going out. No, they want to go outside and play. You see him slinking away because he knows he's being a pain in the ass. All right, so look how crappy this little coupler is. Like, it's so dinky. So to switch the coupler out, all we do is loosen up these screws here. So we got, or grub screws. So we got 4 grub screws. Loosen all 4 of them up. Okay. Take the coupler out. Just lift up the whole gantry. Put the new one in. I like to shove it all the way in on the lead screw end. And then basically the lead screw. So like here, you can see it. Oh, that Z-rod runs really smooth. So you can see here, like, we want to basically pull the coupler up, and I'll zoom in here so you guys can see. And this works. This is for any printer. So basically, you pull the coupler up until it stops. So you can see here, and you'll hear the motor shaft touch the lead screw. So that's what we want. We want the motor shaft to touch the lead screw. Now, the screw heads on these are 2.5s. You can see they're a lot bigger than the ones that were on here. And we're going to want to tighten up the lead screw one here, and it's this nice even clamping here. The other thing I like about these is there's no set screw, so it can't be off center. This just clamps around the lead screw, and the same thing for the motor shaft. So I'm going to tighten that one down, and then the bottom one here. I'm sorry that this is focusing on the wrong thing here. But the problem with the stock ones is you're going to get poor layer lines because your whole x-axis is on this. You see this? Why would you want your printer on this? Like, it's springy. So if like the printer's moving, this is going to go like this and introduce all sorts of artifacts into your print. These are garbage. Throw them out. It's on the floor. It's going to stay there. It's going to stay there. So
fix it up.
Yeah, and whenever you replace whenever you place a coupler like this, just run it up and down. Make sure everything feels smooth. This feels really good. I shouldn't need any other adjustments here. This printer might even work with our anti-backlash nut. I'll have to check that. But just looking at it. All right, so I've removed the ZN stop. I've replaced the coupler. This is optional, highly recommended. If you're going to order from us anyways, it's $5. Just add it on. I'm going to flip this up, and I'm going to pull the Z end stop cable back through the harness into the bottom of the control box. I think I'm going to mount the ABL control board in the bottom here. So where's our Z? Our Z is right here. Here's our Z wire. So I'm just going to follow this. You can see here, this is our Z plug here. And I'm just going to pull this, and look at that. Comes right out of the little wrap. That was super easy. All right, so all I got to do is connect this to the EZABL control board, give it power from the power supply, and then run the sensor down into here. And we should be able to slip it into this sheathing, so it'll be a nice, clean install. So let me figure out where I'm going to stash the control box. So here's our control box here. We do include T-nuts, and honestly, I'm probably just going to put it off of like right here, just kind of hanging out on one T-nut here. So just off of here, since we got some dead space in this area. Like this is just the heated bed cable. My soldering iron is trying to join the party, apparently. Oh, we got $20 on Rumble. Awesome. I didn't know we could do that. Which also on Rumble, they keep less of the money too, which is really nice. Sweet. Thank you, gentlemen. I don't know any other company that does sort of content and good work for the community. Very important. Not everyone has money for the latest and greatest printers. Yeah, honestly, like I like these cheaper printers over like the Bamboos and everything. Like they're local. There's no cloud crap, and like I get it. Like there's a lot of people that want to just print, and that's what the the Bamboos are good for. But at a certain point, they're also going to need work, right? So I'm just going to test fit this. I'm not going to put this in here just yet and mount this because I want to obviously get my wires, and you can see my power wires are going to come in right here. So let's see. Is that going to be nice and secure? I think we'll be good right there. Oh yeah, that'll be fine there. All right, so we're going to stash this in here. I'm just going to unscrew this so I can get this out. We got to run 2 wires here for power. And then the end stop. So remember we snipped the wires from the end stop. The end stop will go into the little terminal on this side. So on our control board here, we have our power input, and you can see the positive and negative marked on there. If you just kind of look into the side of the board, you can see positive is on the left and negatives on the right, looking at it from this orientation. And this is if you're using the external DC power adapter, which we do sell. I direct wire all mine because I don't mind running 2 wires to my power supply. That scares some people, so that's why we have it as an option. This little switch here, we might need to flip depending on the wiring of the Z end stop. And this white plug here is for if you have a printer that has a Z end stop that has a plug on it. So you can actually put the 2-pin or the 3-pin into here. In this case, since the end stop was soldered to the wire, we're just going to strip these and insert them into the terminal here. And then our sensor plugs in here. So it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. All right. So we include our power wire. I'm going to go ahead and strip this. Let me use my fancy wire strippers here because there are 2 wires inside this wire sheathing. So if you strip these, you will get a red and a black.
Ordered one of these last night. Looking forward to playing with it. Yeah, they look really nice.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Like everybody's freaking out about like the Bamboos and stuff, but they're still, even their cheaper printer is still pretty expensive for what you get. And like you can't modify them. So it's not, so here's the other thing. Here's the other argument to be had. These printers you can buy for cheaper. You can upgrade them later on. So you can use them stock, but then you can also upgrade them later on. With the Bamboos, like there's really like you use it stock, and that's fine. But I like the ability to be able to, like, I want to switch the hot end out. I want to put a better heater in there. I want to change, to a different nozzle. Like I want to make it print better in doing closed stuff. Like here's the thing, this printer, you could definitely do ABS on this if you threw it in an enclosure. The Bamboo, that A1, they don't support ABS. It's not going to hit the temperatures.
Even in their slicer, you cannot select ABS. It removes all ABS profiles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're super limited and locked down. All right, so like, one T-nut here into the extrusion. This will be fine hanging out in here.
To get it print higher temp, but like, why would you? It's more of a multicolor machine.
I don't know if Krista's watching. Is Krista, if you're watching the stream, can you let the dogs out? Because they're being very pacey. I don't know if they actually have to go out, or if they're just being a pain in the ass. They've been kind of a pain this week. Like, I don't know why. They've been very annoying. Go lay down.
And are we golden?
I'm assuming she's not. Actually, Torque, can you ping her on Teams and be like, hey, can you let the dogs out, please? I know she was watching some documentary. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put the power in here. So red is positive, black is negative. I put red to the little plus terminal on the ABL control board. And I put black to the minus. And on here, we got V plus. You know, I just realized, I don't know if I have a Changling power supply, but I just realized here, this is the actual full company name for this power supply is Changzhou Changling. Changlian. So I'm wondering if this is just a different logo, but it's actually the same company. Now, I will say, I feel like the like knockoff random power supplies have been getting better over the years, which is good. Like this one looks like it's pretty decently made. Like it doesn't feel super cheap. I don't know what Meanwell would replace this because obviously the LRS 350 is not going to fit in here. I don't know if they make a 300 in the LRS series, but the LRS series is typically the go-to just for price to performance. Now, I'm just unplugging these so I can stash the wire down here and get it out of the way. So I'm going to plug that back in. You know what's really interesting? Do you notice this? It has onboard drivers. It has solder drivers for X, Y, and Z. And then it's got a fifth driver support with a socket. I just noticed that. That's definitely something unique. That's something really unique. Now, here's the thing. I know Brian's not going to go back to using the ZN stop, so I'm going to cut this so it's nice and even here. So it's not having extra wire. I'm going to put the ZN stop into the ZN stop terminal here. I'll zoom in a second here. I'm just stripping the wires here.
Krista said done.
Yeah, no, she grabbed the doggos. Thanks, Tor. Like sometimes when I'm like most of the time I'm fine, but like when they start pacing, it's just like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's like, oh my god, lay down. It's so distracting. Okay, so I stripped a little bit of the wires here for the ZN stop. I'll put these into the terminal, and then I'm going to tighten the terminal down. Nope, I'm going to need to put a little more wire on there. So one thing I do like with the solid wire is why we include solid wire for the power wire is it's a lot easier to get into the terminals.
Yes. That's someone who just messed with terminals a few seconds ago.
Now, here's a little trick. So on these thinner wires with the terminals, if you strip a little more than it's needed and then kind of fold it over, it gives the terminal a little more to bite onto. So that's what I'm doing here. So I stripped, I don't know, about 5 millimeters here. I'm just going to take this and kind of fold the wire over. Now, this is just a signal wire. There's no current going over this. And even the ABL itself pulls like nothing for power. So we just need to get the signal. So I kind of folded that over. That'll give it some more meat to bite into when I put it into the terminal. These are really thin end stop wires. Like even thinner than the Crealities. So, but that's what this little second terminal's for on our ABL kits is for machines that don't have the 2-pin or 3-pin. And you can see it takes a sec to get it to bite. That one bit, this one didn't for some reason. I must not have got it all the way into the terminal. Just make sure the terminal's all the way up. Come on. There we go. It went in that time. All right. I don't think I got it. I think it kind of just folded over on itself. All right. Those are both in. Let's stash that wire down here. So all that's left to do is update the firmware and mount the sensor on here. And then we'll have auto bed leveling on here. I got a golden that's like that. Yeah, we have a golden and a German Shepherd. So we have a really smart dog and a really dumb dog. And together, by their idiot powers combined, we get absolute pure stupidity. It's amazing. Because Comet's like, let's go do this stupid thing. And Remo's like, yeah, I guess. Okay, let's do it. All right. So here's the ABL sensor. I'm going to run this down up and follow the factory wire here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to slip it in here, but I am going to slip it down in right here. So I'm probably going to come over here and then go over the side. We're going to see. Whenever you're retrofitting printers, it's always like a whole thing to like figure out where to stash things. So we give you plenty of wire here, and this wire is fully shielded, unlike all of our competitors. As far as I know, we're the only company that makes ABL kits that actually gives you fully shielded wire. We're using like proper industrial sensors here, not cheap crap that you buy on Amazon. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball
the
this.
cheapest wire.
Right, like the BL touches and CR touches give you like the cheapest, shittiest wire. All right. So I'm going to get this routed. We do include a bunch of zip ties in the baggie. I'm going to see if I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to slide this in here. That's going to be a pain on this smaller one. So I'm just going to do this. We are going to leave a little slack here, just for strain relief. A little bit of slack here by the wire so it can move and do its thing. We recommend you do that on all of the sensor installs, because if you don't, you can end up with an internal break on the wire. So we're going to go ahead and zip tie this onto the other one. If you want to try to put it inside there, it probably would fit. I'm not going to do it on the small one here. I am going to slip it through on the big one, though. All right. And probably put one more down here. And then I'm just going to come into the front here and put that one there. I don't know if Brian's watching. He might be an old man. I've already gone to bed. All right. Now, they do have a zip tie here holding the wires going into this cable harness here. I'm going to put my own on, so I'm going to slip my wire in here because I guarantee there's enough room in here. It's a pretty big harness. Yeah, this will fit, no problem. And I'm going to put one right here to keep these from popping out. Replacing the one I took off. There we go. And then we should be able to go right into the control box. Yeah, Jay Mather's comment over on Rumble about, I don't know if anyone that does sort of content and good work, like doing the detailed stuff. And the sad part is, and we just had a meeting about this, we're still going to do the technical stuff because one, I enjoy doing this, and two, like I think it's helpful. But the sad part is on all these video platforms, like the super technical stuff just doesn't get like views. Like they don't really get many views. You know, it's kind of sad because most people just want to watch, oh, look at this stupid print I did type of thing. So, all right, so that just comes out of there. Should be able to fish the ABL cable. Look at that. It's almost going to look like it's factory. All right. Put that back in there. And honestly, I'm probably going to put, just so this can't pull out, I don't know why they didn't do this, probably going to put a zip tie right here, just so this whole clump of cables in this.
Yeah, because if that one gets sprayed, it's going to be annoying to try to shove it back in.
Yeah, try to shove it in without having the box open. So I'm just going to put this here. This will act as like a stopper from pulling out there. All right. Now we do have a decent amount of cable left. However, we know there's a ton of room underneath the control board, so I'm just going to slip this underneath the control board. because there's nothing under there it can get in the way of. And then we got to plug this in to the control box. Shove the rest under here. Look at that. That's a nice clean install. What do you think, Tor? Oh, now I'm not going to put the control box cover back on just yet. Oh, actually, I can put it on because where I mounted this, I can actually get to the little Z-stop switch through the case. Yeah. I can get it through the case here. Okay, I can put the cover back on. I just got to find, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 M3 screws and 2 M5s. And I got to remember where this fan came off of. I thought there was a header. Oh, it's right here. It's an always on fan right here. Yep. Okay. Where's my M5s? I think his screws got cleaned up into other screws because this printer's been sitting here for a sec, but that's okay. I've got all sorts of screws to put things back together how I found
Ready to have about 100 people in here?
What's that?
Oh, Loyal Moses is rating.
Oh, no. Oh, holy crap. Should we pull up actual Twitch and see? I've never actually been rated. I forgot he was streaming tonight because he streams on Twitch. Yeah, he streams on Wednesday. Oh man. Oh no, it's coming. I'm logging in right now. I'm gonna see what happens when
Howdy, everyone. Welcome.
What's up? Moses is awesome. I like Moses. Oh man, let's see. Does it tell me we have 2 people watching? Aussie doggy. All right. I don't think we have rating blocked. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't think you can.
I feel like you might be able to. But if that is, I haven't set it up. All right. Oh no, we got 5 people. Oh boy, it's about to get crazy in here. On the most random stream too.
Mm-hmm.
We're just messing with a little Kingroon printer. All right. There we go. I got the right size screws here. All right, let's get these.
Welcome, everybody.
What's up? Hello.
Thank you for
there's the raid. Hello, everybody. We got word. Someone alerted us. If you
Welcome
guys
to the stream, everybody.
Tor, start pulling up some of the comments on the StreamYard. What's up, everybody? Oh my God. We have 109 people. Oh dear God.
Who talked?
This is nuts. What's up? Who talked? I think it was Aussie. Aussie, hang on. Where's his thing? Oh, right here. Loyal Moses raid incoming. How's everybody doing?
Oh, no. Fired.
Oh my God.
That's photographs.
Tor, pull the comments. I just realized we don't have any like tune skis going in the background here.
Rolling.
Yeah. There we go. I forgot to turn on the tune skis. It wasn't me. He caught me on the counter. It wasn't me. Oh my God. What's up? What's up, everybody? If this is your first time here, I welcome. We are a 3D printing company, but I also love tinkering with printers, which is the whole reason I have a company. This is a hobby that was
Pete,
just kind of exploded.
I applied to all the tickets this morning. Did you get a response from the site? You should have gotten an automated response.
Pete, I feel like you said, didn't he say something on the last stream that he sent us a message? How are you sending us messages? Because
send it directly to this email.
Yeah, send us a direct email because we get back to everything. We've got a whole from the farm product page. I replied to somebody today for a print job. I don't know if that was you. I think it was like Michael was the guy's name. All right, I'm sorry. I just realized you guys can't see anything on my extra camera here. All right, so those of you guys just popping in, we are working on the Kingroon KP3S Pro. A local guy here named Brian let us borrow it. We just added auto bed leveling onto it with our EZABL NG kit and our Unified 2 firmware. We also printed a new LCD mount to make it not flat, because I'll be honest, my biggest gripe about this printer is the way they have the LCD mounted. It's not great. So, oh yeah, Loyal Moses filament. I have his filament right here. I just haven't figured out what to print with it yet. It's actually really cool. I'll give me a little shout out here. Yeah, here, right here, brand new. And I took it out of the bag just like him. I even stabbed it with something sharp, just like he did. I had to open it like that. It's his filament. I actually bought 2 rolls of it. Krista has 1 roll. I have the other roll. Print anything, doesn't matter. Looks great. I was honestly thinking about doing like a printer build with it. Yeah, this is a super clean install. So I'm just buttoning the bottom up. So I'm just putting the screws back in. So this is a pretty quick install. You just run the power to it. You snip the ZN stop wire, pull it back into the bottom here. Like it's really cool. If I did a Voron or any sort of kit printer, I would be printing that in ABS, not PLA. All right, so here we go. Here's the KP3S Pro with our ABL on it. I'm gonna go ahead and update the firmware here. So we're gonna switch back over to VS Code. Let's see here.
Then you'd have a oil printer.
Now I'm going to lag. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to lag when the compiler runs, because that's what it does. Oh, we're gonna one last thing. I got it because I this is why this printer is not officially supported. I got to measure the offset. So this is our mount. We designed this mount for the sensor. It's one of the things we do. Unlike the BL Touch and stuff, we actually will take the time.
Just bakes. This is the KP3S Pro.
Yeah.
So this is the $160 one.
So this is 54 to the left on X. I'm looking here. I got to pull up our backend file. And I'm pre-programming this on so nobody else has to do anything. We're just going to go ahead.
148.54 for KP3S Pro and nozzle.
148, that's not bad for this. I don't know if I have this. Do I have this even defined here? I do not yet. All right. So I'm going to switch over to the code here. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get
I'll check that right now.
What's that, Tor?
Pete.
Okay. So we're left with the nozzle, so that's a negative number. So 54.
Yes, it would be to the center of the nozzle to the center X, or center of nozzle to center of probe on X and Y.
Yep. So, and we're in front of the nozzle by like 9 millimeters. So that'd also be a negative number. So -9. And -54. Okay, so that's programmed in there. See, I have a little note here, not done yet. Well, guess what? It's done now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and compile this. And actually, I'm pretty sure Brian's going to want to play with input shaping. I'm going to put super fast probe on here. This should be able to do super fast probe. And then I'm also going to put input shaping on here because this has a processor that can handle it. And I think that'll be about it. Let's see here. Huh?
I'm responding to Pete right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, my video and stuff is going to lag when I do the compile. I am spinning up a VM, so this doesn't happen on future streams. All right. So satisfying cable management. I just saw Jay Mathers said that. All right. It's compiling. I'm going to lag while it's compiling. This will be the last stream where it's like this, because I'm saying
yeah. Peter, if you can hear me, just responded to you. We do have those in stock. We're talking during the live. No problem, Pete.
lagging,
Hey,
aren't I?
tripod. Steven, is the only real difference between the Pro and S1 just added
All right.
linear
Firmware is
rails?
done. Where'd my SD card go that I just had? I just had an SD card. Chat, where'd I put my SD card?
Uh-oh.
It was here. No! It's gone. It is in the abyss that is my workbench here. Oh, I found it. I found it. It's right here. I got it. I got it. We're good. All right, let's see.
It sounded like it had dual on X and Y as well for the S1.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and flash this. All right. Yeah, if you're seeing lag, that's me. It's not you guys.
Tim, can you mod me on Twitch?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Hang on.
ban that person?
You need to type something so I can mod you, I think. Oh yeah, here you go. I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
/ mod hate store _
What's that? Oh wait,
/
There you go. You're modded. You're modded. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so we have power on the sensor. I'm gonna make this one bigger here again so you guys can see it. So we have power on the sensor. Now we need to make sure the sensor is about 2 millimeters higher than the nozzle. Now the new NG sensors that we've been selling for what, about a month or two now, I want to say, these come pre-calibrated. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and see here. Oh no, I see a problem here. So the Z is bottoming out on the new coupler, but I do have room to bring the bed up. But I think we might need to go solid mounts on this.
Right next to you, don't you?
That makes sense why they had this tiny ass weird, like thin coupler on here. Our nozzle's on the bed now though, so we should be good. Yeah, it's hitting the bed.
Measure the distance from bed to...
Oh, I'm so close. It was just... So the nozzle's on the bed, and we need this 2 millimeters higher than the nozzle. This wrench is about 2 millimeters, so I'm going to loosen this up. And this is only hitting because I changed the coupler out. It had these like springy couplers that were horrible on here. All right, so I got that sitting there. I'm going to set the bottom nut. That'll make it so it will be at the correct height. And we're going to tighten this down. All right. So I'm going to raise this up. Let's go ahead and run a probe test. Now, I'm going to, or not run a probe test, but let's see if it's communicating. So there's a little switch on our board that you might have to flip depending on your wiring and other things. But what I like to do, you can test it with the M119 command. However, what I like to do is just move the Z up, and then we're going to tell this to home. So I'm going to motion auto home on here. Then it'll home X, Y. And I'm going to put my finger under the sensor. And if it stops, we're good. See how it's not stopping? I'm going to turn the printer power off, because otherwise it's going to keep going down. And
this is what you do if you don't have it connected to a computer. Yeah,
this is what you do if you don't have it connected. So this, on this printer, we can actually see, since I mounted this in here, we can actually see the little switch through the grill here. So I'm going to just take my screwdriver and flip the little switch. And now we should be good. We're going to just test it again. And it's a 50-50 shot on whether your printer will need to have that flip. So that switch actually will, it's rewiring the connection on the board to reverse the polarity between the end stop and the, or between the ABL control board and the end stop. So we added that on to make it easier because you used to have to flip your wires. Now you just flip a little switch. All right, we're going to try it again. Auto home.
I remember. Actually, I have one of the.
And I'm going to see if it should stop it. There we go. You see that? So we're good now. See how it stopped. So I'm going to go ahead and auto home it since we know it's working.
Hey, Sledlord. Glad you're enjoying them.
And our offsets look good because the sensor is coming down in the center of the bed. Thank you, sir. All right. And now we're going to run an M48 probe test. Now, these probes are pre-calibrated, so they should be at their optimal performance. Now, we do have on the 18 millimeter, this is an 18 millimeter sensor, there is an adjustment on the top here, but you don't need to mess with this unless you want to or our support tells you. Now, I'm going to run the M48 probe test, and this is going to test the probe here and give us the accuracy. So we want to be under 0.01 or 0.01 on the test. So we're going to see what we got here.
A little bit of a reflection.
We're at 0.002. So the sensor's reading 0.002867 millimeters of accuracy, which I think is pretty damn good. So, all right. I'm going to tell it to run a G29. So I can go back in the screen motion, and then I'm going to hit level bed, and this should run a G29. And that's it. It's installed. The firmware is updated. The software is installed. I do think we should probably write something up, Tor, about the if you do switch the coupler out, that your bed's going to need to be raised up. I'm going to check and see this. What's that?
What distance do you have on the bed right now?
Well, I'm going to check. So
carriage and bed.
The solid mount distance should be more than enough, but I don't know if the solid mounts are going to fit on this printer. So we're gonna check right now. If they are, I'm gonna hook my buddy Brian up here with some solid bed mounts. So I don't know if you guys saw how fast that probed either. Those of you guys that
loyal. Welcome. Thank you for the raid, dude.
How many of you guys have used the BL Touch or CR Touch and know how long it takes for it to probe? All right, let's see. This is not what I put on here, but I'm just checking the distance of our spacers that we use to see if this will be optimal. Oh, they will. The solid mounts will work on here, Tor.
Perfect.
Should I go run out to the shop and grab a set of solid mounts?
You do see that, Loyal. You do. He was just showing it off. He has two of them.
Yes.
Yes. Solid bed mounts.
Should I go? All right. I'm gonna remove my. I'm just gonna go back to this. I'll be right back, everybody. I'm gonna go take a 150-foot trip to my shop. I'm gonna go grab solid mounts, and we're gonna solid mount this bed because if you have an ABL probe, whether it's ours or a BL Touch, you can get rid of these things. Just take them and just throw them in the trash. They're useless. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab a set of solid mounts, and we do sell them on the shop. I'll be right back. Tor, don't let the stream go to shit while I'm gone.
What's everybody up to tonight? This is actually a great little printer for not that much. On AliExpress. I think I saw it for 140 to 160. Don't kill a stream. I'm actually pretty good with streaming. I've been on large streams before, so I'm not too bad. Did a solid bed mount to my G-Max during the last upgrade. The G-Max. I haven't heard of one of those in a while. You used to see a lot of that on 3D Printing Nerds channel. Yeah, I suppose you're just buying the spacers. For the solid bed mounts, the spacers actually give it a bit more beef for the actual plate to sit onto, so it doesn't rock around as much. So they are better than just going the spacers. But if you can't fit the spacers or fit the full kit, then just the spacers can't work. Yeah, we love 3D. We love tinkering with 3D printers.
Okay. I am glad he asked that question, okay? Because I have both. I have our kit, and we sell just the spacers. Now, this printer, I don't know if it has, like, strain relief. It kind of does. I don't know if the strain relief will work on this one. So I grabbed both. We sell just the spacers for $8. And we also sell the full kit, which also includes 4...
Sludlord, yes we do. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and
Yep.
Rumble.
So anyways, we have our solid bed mount, which includes the 4 spacers. So if your printer can't use a strain relief, and it's also got the spacers that we press into the ABS part. So they do look nicer. However, they are more expensive. But the main thing people will get the solid bed mount kit is because of the strain relief arm. Now, I'm going to see if this will work. I'm going to see if this will work with this printer here. If the strain relief will. The spacers themselves will work.
Kick. Yeah, we're not on Kick.
What's up?
He said you forgot Kick. I said we're not on Kick.
Oh, we're not on Kick. No.
Is it
we do not do hot tub streams, so we're not on Kick.
For the KP3S V3 because mine's a bit like this.
Okay. Yeah, just the raw spacers are only $8. We have them on our site. If that floats your boat. Now the raw spacers work fine on here, so they just replace the springs. They go on there. I'm seeing if this would make sense to put the strain relief on here. I don't think it really will on this printer because of where they have. You see where the solder is. So on the printers like the Creality machines and certain Soballs, this will actually grab the wires here that are on the corner. On this printer, the wires are kind of offset here, so the strain relief wouldn't be something I would use on this one. So for this printer, I would say save yourself a couple bucks and get just the spacers. So I'm going to put just the spacers on here, which are these guys. Make sure I'm not twisting the wire up here.
Hey,
are we good?
It wasn't built on the channel, but there are a couple of Vorons on the stream right now.
All right, so I'm just putting the spacers in place of the. Sorry, I'm a one-man show here on the camera, so you put the spacers in place of the springs. If you do have a printer that can use the strain relief, the solid mounts are the way to go. Or if you just want them to look nicer and be black, either one works. You're getting rid of the springs. This will also make the bed super solid, okay? So I'm going to put the stock. Now, here's the thing. I will typically, I'm going to do this for my buddy because I like my buddy. I'm going to throw these out as well, and we're just going to put regular nuts on the bottom here with a little bit of glue on them. So typically, these printers use M4 bolts, and that's what it looks like this one has. So I'm going to get some M4 nuts. Do I have Loctite, or are we going to glue these on? I don't know where my Loctite went. Huh? Now nail polish works too. Is it possible to get the kit in any other color but black? No, because, I mean, we could one-off do them, but it honestly would be a pain. The reason they're all in black is because that's what most people like, and we can bulk produce them. So, like, we print a ton of them at once.
It generally doesn't conflict with the printer colors.
Yeah, that's the main thing. All right, let me grab and move all my screw assortments out of the way. Let me grab my socket here. Is it a 7 mil? I think it's 7 mil. Yeah, it's a 7 mil. All right, so I'm just going to get one of these on here. And I think it makes it look a lot cleaner, not having the big wheels on here. So put some Loctite or glue or nail polish on there, tighten it down. Whoa, I almost dropped the screw or the nut. All right.
Glue it to your carpet.
We don't have carpet in here anymore. Don't you remember I took the carpet out of here?
Oh, yeah.
That was a while ago. All right. Initial level, it doesn't matter. It's going to get it close enough. And the ABL sensor is going to take care of it. Now, if you really want to be anal, some people will put like washers between the solid bed mounts or spacers. You know, you can do that if you want. It's not going to hurt anything. We have like 40-something machines here, and we have not done that on any of them. We just let the auto bed leveling system take care of leveling out the bed. But
hey, Krista.
All right, one last one on here. And then I'm going to run a print on here and see, because I have not seen how this machine prints. And we did not build this on the channel because this was a friend's printer. And basically, I told him, hey.
We might.
Huh?
I said, with how well it's going, we might.
Might what?
Build one. They're nice little printers.
Yeah, I do really like it.
Good sale on
So, Now with the solid mount, or the solid mounts, spacers, whatever you want to call them, on this printer, I'd probably just go with the spacers because it's cheaper. I'm selling my own self short, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. Okay. I'm going to make sure that everything homes correctly and that our nozzle can get down to the bed. So basically, when we replaced the little coupler here, you had to have the springs fully extended, but these spacers are longer than the springs can decompress. So we'll be good. We'll have basically, when in general, if you're replacing your springs with spacers, you need to make sure that you get enough height on the bed, because if you go too low and the spacers are too short, your Z is going to bottom out on something, whether on this case it's a coupler or a motor mount, and it's not going to work. That's the thing. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
The S9 we have not.
I'm just looking through chat right now here. Sebastian S3 Sebastian says, what offsets does it have to compensate for though? Wait, what offsets does it have to compensate for then though? If you want to print flat parts even without ABL, you should come close to perfect or IMO to avoid distortions on bigger print, especially for functional parts. So we print thousands of functional parts a year and do not have issues because the ABL is on through the whole print. Liptonium's asking, have you guys ever worked with the Sunlu S9? He posted S9, another one here. And we have not done anything with the S9. Isn't the S9 running some weird board? I think we looked at that printer. Didn't we, Tor? I'm gonna preheat this, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and load up Loyal Moses' filament into here since I have it right here. Brand new roll. I just opened it. All right. And I think I should be able to run, I'll probably run my SVO6 profile on here since it is a direct drive machine. All right. And this does have a filament sensor on it, which is nice. So this even has a filament sensor. It's got a geared extruder. It's direct drive. Like this is, you get a lot for a fairly cheap machine. And linear rails too. Is there filament in here? Did Brian leave filament in here? Brian, did you leave filament in here? Or is this just not feeding? No, it looks like there's filament in here. Hang on. Am I stupid? Oh, never mind. It just... Oh, wait. Yeah, there is filament in here. Oh, this is nice. So it just pulls... It just pulls out. So there's some black in here. That's what apparently Brian was printing. I'm feeding the... Oh, there we go. There's a little piece of black that came out. Okay. So that's nice. You can actually load this pretty easy and then shove the PTFE back in there. I'm just adjusting the tension on here because there wasn't much tension on here. Let's see. There we go. That feels good. All right. The hot end heated up quick. We're already at 200. I'm going to go here and I'm going to do change filament and I'm going to load filament here. Is going slow. Do we have to change E-steps? Did I not check the E-steps? What E-steps do we have here? I feel like it should be 410. Hang on, let me double check. I knew there was going to be something because I'm setting up the firmware right now. We're at 190, which I think this is running in 132nd step mode. So 410... There should be a 410 step per millimeter if memory serves correct. I think I'm getting the Yeah, I think I'm getting the 190 from the original KP3. So let me double check. I can change the E steps here, and this will all be done if you guys get our firmware for this. This will all be done before you even, but this will be done by the time we
410.
What? What was that torque? 410. So that's doubled. That's for 1/16. So it'll be 820. That's a really high step rate. All right, no big deal. Yeah, because it's doubled on this machine if memory serves correct. I'm going to double check it. We'll do a calibration. I was like, man, that is running slow. Or either that, or I wonder if they're using 0.9 degree motors. They either doubled the E-steps or they're using 0.9. There's no markings on the motors. Well, we're gonna check the calibration anyways. We'll find out. All right. I just updated the firmware. We're gonna put it into the printer. Okay. Just gonna power cycle it. Let it update the firmware, which will update the E-steps. And I'm gonna mark 100 on here. I'm gonna tell it to extrude 100 millimeters, and we're gonna see how much it actually extrudes. Where's my? Let me double check my E-steps here. Okay, we're at 820 now, so we got the new settings. I'm gonna see if the filament loads. It's got to preheat for a sec here. And then I'm going to mark it. We're going to do E-step calibration just to make sure that my settings are correct, because I want to make sure that people are using our firmware, that they have the correct E-steps for their machine. I just need to find a permanent marker here. All right, let's see. There we go. It's going faster. This looks a lot better. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
the
that
E-steps
looks are correct now.
Yeah. No, there we go. It's feeding filament out.
If anything else, it might just be a flow calibration after this.
All right, I got a Sharpie here. All right, so once that's done, I want to mark 100 on here, and then we're gonna see if it gets close. I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty close. All right, so I'm gonna go here, motion, move axis, move extruder, move 10 millimeters. Mark 100 here. So our 100 mark's right here. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I told it to extrude 100.
Tim's about to smell a lot of it because it's about to loop up on that nozzle. I would actually clear that out so it's not... Yeah.
We're going to see what it gets to. Now, knowing these extruders, this 410, or in this case 820, since we're double, should be pretty good. We're going to see how close this gives us. And if this doesn't, I'll show you guys how to calculate this. We should get to like basically a little past the bottom of the mark here.
And stop. Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. We're right where we want to be. All right. I mean, I could probably, maybe, yeah. Oh, it's right there.
No,
it's right there. I'm leaving it. That's close. It's really close. This is a gorgeous filament. That looks cool as shit. All right. Then basically after this stream, I'll be pushing all the firmware changes I just made into production, and then it'll be available on the site tonight. So if you guys have a completely bone stock KP3S Pro, you can update to our software right now. You will want to go ahead and print this little LCD riser, just because the LCD is going to be formatted in a landscape mode, which in my opinion is a lot nicer to use than having it completely flat, because you can just hit it like this and change all your stuff. So I'm going to slice something really quick. What should we slice? 0.003 millimeter off. We're going to redo it. This is probably more bang on than the original manufacturer. Let's just be honest. All right, I'm gonna push that back in. All right, we sold extruders like this that are similar style. This is like a Titan design.
For a number of years.
Yeah, for a number of years, and they were basically always 410. Not a hashtag, not a benchy. Should I print like? Is there a little Loyal Moses calibration cube or something? Do we have anything? I'm going to use my SVO6 profile for this.
I need to make our own calibration cube.
I know. Come on, chat. We got 60 people watching on Twitch, 16 on YouTube. No one on Facebook. Nobody's on Facebook.
A new calibration robot?
There's a robot. Loyal Moses is a calibration cube. I'm going to reduce my E-steps on the S9. Once I get my parts printed, I'm putting a mod of H2 on it with a slice heat break. That'll be a good, that'll be good. 92113. Okay, let's see. Is it small? We don't want to be here all night.
What scaling is for?
92113. Let me see here. 92113. Oh, mini Loyal Moses. All right. Let's see. That's fine. All right, we're going to download. I'm going to put that in my downloads file here. We're going to put it into Prusa Slicer. Prusa. Prusa.
Some organic support.
Prusa. Does this need support? This shouldn't need support.
Loyal said it requires supports.
Oh.
Where does it require supports? It's like one.
Yeah, let me hang on. I can share my screen here. Window, there we go, Prusa Slicer. Whoop. Yeah, it is fairly big. So this is on the SVO6 bed. So I'm gonna use the SVO6 profile. Let's just get a little cowboy hat. How's that? I'm trying to find like a little cowboy hat here. I'm on printables on my other screen, so just ignore me.
Hey, thanks for that. No problem, Pete. Happy to help.
Pete, did his thing get through finally?
Yes.
I'm really curious to know like what and how he was
sent
sending.
it in. I'll tag you on the ticket.
Okay.
But it was via the ask a question on the page.
To ask, yeah, well, it's fine. We can figure out later. All right, so this is fairly big, though. I'm gonna do 50% here, and then I know this is the SVO6. We're gonna put this kind of over here. It's my SVO6 profile. Let's see, are we getting any supports on this? Can we get away with no supports? Yeah, we can probably get away with no supports here. What do you think, Tor? I think we can get away with no supports.
For that little hat.
That's a little hat, a little cowboy hat for Moses. So Mr. Moses.
That way,
all right,
we
I'm
can
going to
see the end
export
of the
this.
print before
What?
the end of the stream. I said that way we can actually see the end of the print before the end of the stream.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. All right. So now when I go ahead and do this, I'm going to need to set my Z offset, and we're going to do it live. We're going to do it live! All right. Print from SD card.
Did I start preheating?
We're going to do it live!
Howdy. Welcome, Tink.
Appreciate everybody stopping by. We don't get too much traffic on Twitch. We stream on Twitch, YouTube, on X, on Rumble, on Facebook. We hit them all up, okay? We hit them all up. All right. E1 is heating. This must have a 50-watt heater in it because this thing sends it quick. And I think the other
commands, but it would be the same on YouTube. TH3D Studio.
Yeah, we don't. I need to set up. If anybody has any input on like chat bots and stuff for Twitch and whatnot, I am all ears. I'm actually probably going to change the bed mesh so it'll go out to the corner a little bit more. But this will be fine for now. I can tweak that. It's all stuff we can change in the setting. Also, though, I think the bed is much larger than the print area on here, isn't it? Because this is a 210 by 210 plate. And what's the print area on this? 200 by 200? All right,
200
so
by
I'm going to
200,
press
yeah.
the button twice on here, and I'm going to go ahead and just set my baby stepping. So if we just keep holding this down, it's moving it down on the Z. Did the Z freak out? The Z freaked out on this printer, Tor.
Ooh. Have a good one.
Oh, it's those
Electronic.
weird... Hang on. I know what's going on. Hang on. Do you remember on some of the boards with the 2208s how they'd freak out when you baby step a ton?
Wasn't it with the ones that are not workable?
Hang
Are those in
on.
standalone?
The what?
Are those in standalone mode?
Those are in, yeah, these are in standalone mode. That's probably why it's not happy.
Yeah.
So basically to get around that, you just set the Z offset before you start the print, and then you can just fine tune it. It doesn't like being told to step a ton, and that's just the physical driver. So I'm gonna go ahead and move Z. We're at 5 right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna set my Z offset here. Until the nozzle's on the bed. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper here.
I know
like
a lot
to
of
do it
people who
live.
use the Nightbot, yeah. I've not heard of Firebot yet. Yeah, I usually set my Z offset live as well. I never do it the proper way.
Well, on these particular drivers, they're kind of a pain. All right, we're at a good spot. We're like negative 2.875. All right, we're gonna start the print, and we should be good now. Yeah, and that's just these boards with these standalone drivers that are standalone mode 2225 and the 2208s. They just do weird stuff when you do a ton of baby stepping. So, like my Ender 6 stock board would do that too, because that was 2208s in standalone mode. It's just a pain. I don't know if I could do the square. I think the square wave stepping is a workaround for that, but I can play with that offline.
Yeah.
All right, we got the E-step set. I'm just looking through my printer config here. And I'm pretty sure I have it already told that it's a standalone. Yeah, they're already in standalone. All right. Firebot's quite good. I'll have to check out Firebot. All right, now I am going to bring the baby stepping up, but just to double check, we should be at a good height now. Yeah, we're really close to where we need to be. I am going to change for this printer itself. I'm going to push the probe. I'm going to push the probe edge down a little bit because we don't need as much. All right. I'll give just a little more squish. And we're good at negative 2.95. All right, I'm going to store the settings here. All right, so Z offset stored, and we're printing. All right. There we go. Yeah, so if you guys have a printer that has a 2208 or 2225 drivers in standalone mode and you do a ton of baby stepping and they panic and stop responding, just set your Z offset as close as you can before you start the print and then just fine tune it. Is this not extruding? Is this seriously not extruding?
Stop?
The extruder's moving, but it's not feeding the filament. Oh, hang on. The spool is all... No, it's not the printer's fault. The spool is not feeding. It's extruding now. Of course, when we got a bunch of people watching, the printer's going to be stupid.
This is Marlin. This is our Unified 2 firmware.
Yeah, that was... I didn't realize the spool was not rotating on here because this cardboard spool, and it was getting hung up on the spool adapter. So the guy I got this from, he printed this big mount here, and it was riding up onto the spool, and it was causing it not to feed. That was not the printer's fault. All right. No big deal. Third time's a charm, right? Luckily, everything heats up quick on here. Yeah, this is running our Unified 2, which is built on Marlin. So short answer is it's running Marlin. It's just, yeah, the KP3S Pro V2 has a Clipper firmware. Yeah, that one, I think that's the one that comes with Clipper, right? Because they have a KP3S Pro that comes with Clipper. It's also a lot more expensive than this one. Now, here's the thing. This printer with its stock board can run input shaping with Marlin with no additional hardware. So you can actually, like, input shaping's on right now. I have to tune it by running a test print. But you can, this is, input shaping is turned on right now. It's just not dialed in for this particular machine right now. It's just running at the default setting. So it is doing some, input shaping compensation, but it's just the default 40 hertz frequency. So, which is probably not what this printer's resonant frequency is. But the stock board in here can do input shaping with no issue. So you can get input shaping with,
You know it.
you can do input shaping with the stock board. So there we go.
Just mail it to us before you even get it and have us upgrade it.
You know, honestly, this would be a printer I wouldn't mind. Like, I'm going to spend a little more time with it because I got this for a couple more days before my buddy needs it back. Like, this would be a printer I wouldn't mind offering, like, pre-upgraded because it's so small and it can be easily packed back up. It's not using V-rollers, so we wouldn't have issues of getting super out of whack in shipping. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, what I would probably change for a build on mine, so you know how it's got that 5th stepper driver socket that's open Tor? I would probably put a 4988 in there for the Z, so that way you never have an issue with the Z driver freaking out when you're baby stepping. And then just have an option in the firmware to remap what port is being used for the Z on our edition of the printer. Do you know what I mean? Because a 4988 is loud on the X and Y, but on the Z you don't even hear it.
Yeah, it's hardly ever moving.
Yeah. There we go. It's printing. I'm just keeping an eye on this spool. I'm not a fan of this spool holder that he printed on here. So I was like, why is it not extruding? I was like, he told me this printer worked. He was just tired of the stock firmware because he came up to the table and specifically asked me. I hadn't met him before. I'd met him at Murph. He's like, do you guys have firmware for the KP3S Pro? I was like, no, but that's a printer I've heard a lot of people asking about. It's on my list. He's like, well, I live like 30 minutes from you guys. Can I just like let you borrow it and you guys can do it? I was like, I'll tell you what, I will, I'll tell you what, drop it off and I'll send it back to you with an auto bed leveling kit or firmware and a couple other upgrades and exchange for letting us borrow it. But now the thing is, I kind of want it.
Right.
Like, it's really quiet. It's got a decent board. It does have a Gigadevice clone processor, but it's got the clone processor that can run the STM code. So it's printing nice. Like, this is a nice little machine. And here's the thing, full disclosure, I have a really soft spot for tiny little printers. I don't know why. I've always liked tiny little printers. They're adorable, and I like that you can, you know, make them go a little faster. And speaking of which, I'm going to crank the feed rate up on here. I sliced this at 80. I'm gonna put this to like 200%. Now it's not gonna hit super fast speeds because it's such a small print.
Steven,
but
I was seeing it for around 150 on AliExpress.
Yeah, $150 ain't bad for this. Now the stock cooling fan they have, I think that this looks like it's a 50-15 in here. But the cooling's not that great. It's not terrible though. It is cruising. Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it for the price. Now I just need to find a way to justify buying one. Because we don't really need it.
PLA machine? Yeah.
They had them on sale for $99. I would have bought one for $99. Absolutely. Absolutely. For $99, you wouldn't have been able to stop me from ordering at that price. That is super cheap. Absolutely. What about nozzle upgrades? It looks like it has a an MK8 style. So
yeah,
like anything that fits a Creality, like we carry copper plated nozzles that would fit in here. It isn't an MK8 block though. You can see though, here's the thing. This does have a 5015 fan, but it's not moving very fast. So like if you replace this with our 5015 fans, I think the cooling would be a lot better, even just on the stock duct. And I'm assuming it's a 5015.
Cooling.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 50. Tor, it looks like it's a 5015. Yeah, you can see it's kind of sagging on the sides there. It's not doing bad though. It is moving pretty quick. And this is just my SVO6 profile.
You grabbed that solid bed mount kit from stock, yeah?
Yes.
All
Yeah, it's
stock right now.
Yeah, I basically took. I think we tracked just the spacers on there. So take 8 spacers out of stock, because when we sell a solid bed mount kit, it takes 4 spacers out of stock. I took both. I took the 4 spacers, which are what's on here, and I took a solid bed mount kit. Will this be a candidate for a Noctua upgrade? Don't put Noctuas on printers that weren't designed for them. The stock fans on this are actually really quiet.
Just had to talk to somebody about that on the phone today.
People putting Noctua fans on printers that weren't designed for them, you end up with issues.
Yeah. Or
like
if
unless
it's
the
like
printer
a
was
cooling fan, it's
a board cooling fan, probably okay. But again, the only reason Noctuas are quiet is because they're slow. And typically, like a Noctua is a brand. Now here's the thing: I have Noctua industrial fans on my computer, and these things get really loud. I have them on PWM, but on the printers, people are usually talking about the slow ones. The thing is, if you cut your fan speed down, yes, it'll be quieter. You're not getting enough airflow, and you'll end up with heat creep. So you want something that has the same airflow or better than the stock fan you're replacing. I'm not impressed with the stock cooling fan on here. So it is a 5015, it looks like. I'm going to take this cover off after this print's done, just to verify. But it's really quiet, and like, it's not moving much air. So they have a really low flow fan in here. Like if I had one of these, if this is going to be mine to keep, I would probably swap that fan out for ours, which is going to be louder, but it's going to give you a hell of a lot better cooling than this one. Like the thing is with fans are, the more air they move, the louder they're going to be. And there's really no way to get around that. Like it's just how air works. The more air you have moving, the louder it's going to be as it's passing through the fan. You know, and then you got motor noise and the fan blade design. But in general, if we're generalizing, which I am right now, the more air you move, the louder the fan's going to be. But in terms of like my printer's layer fan, I want it to move a lot of air. I want good cooling. I don't want to have overheating. Like I don't care if my printer's making noise, you know. That's just the whole thing. I mean, I'm in my office then I have printers running all the time. I don't even care anymore. I also worked in IT. In server rooms a lot, so you know, like I don't mind the fan noise, but it's a really quiet printer out of the box. But again, the stock cooling is not great, but that's most printers. But at least it looks like it's fairly easy to update. But this is almost done printing. It is printing good. There's only minor overheating on some of the things here, like on the little brims that come up. But overall, for a stock printer, like for hardware-wise, like this is basically stock. This is pretty damn good. Other downsides, there have been lots of reports of the Titan extruder causing clogging issues. So here's the thing. We sold Titan extruders for years, and they were great. The problem is if they're not properly put together, that's when you're going to get issues. So I'm going to take this apart to see what's in here just to make sure it is actually a 5015 fan. I probably should have put supports on there because the cooling, I saw 5015 on here. I saw this big fan on the front. I figured, oh, it'd be good for cooling for O-rings. It looks like most of it's sagging into the hat. Do you see that, Tor?
I do. Well, I knew it had cooling issues when I saw the brim of the hat coming up.
We'll see. We'll see if it's going to finish. I'm assuming there's going to be a hole in the top. Wolf Harris said, I couldn't find this many support information when I was struggling to figure out how to operate my printer. I don't know. We've been around for 6 years now. We just passed 6 years. We do a lot for, I mean, we have what, 600 something videos on YouTube. We do streams like this. For a while, we did a Q&A, which we're going to start back up. We just haven't figured out what we want to do yet. You know, I've been doing this for about 8 years at least, like personally. That did actually fill in pretty good. This might actually complete pretty good on the outside.
This guy has a little 8mm probe in there too. What mount is that?
Yeah, Kingroon's got some good little printers. I honestly have really liked their machines. I don't think they've ever sent us one. I think we've always bought them. This is the first one that we haven't been sent and haven't bought. Like, this is a loaner machine.
I just sent you a new fan shroud.
Oh, new fan shroud. I mean, I'm sure Brian will I'm sure Brian would probably just be like, yeah, do whatever you want. So this looks like a new, no, Tor, that's not going to fit on this one.
The V2 has a different setup?
Yep, that's completely different. Different extruder, different, yeah, the V2's got the probe. That's a KP3S Pro V2. All right.
Well, they
this came out pretty, okay, this came out pretty damn good for a stock machine. Despite the cooling fan not moving much air, like,
oh yeah, I was expecting the top to be a lot worse.
This came out really good. The filament printed nice too.
Filament looks
like
great.
We did have some sagging here, which if the cooling was better, that wouldn't have happened. But can we appreciate this cheap little printer just cranked this out really quick? And I had this at 200% feed rate. I sliced it at 80. I mean, it did this in 11 minutes. It's not bad. I like this filament a lot. I wish, and I'm not a big fan of greens, but I do like this film. I have to figure out something. You know, I should print a bunch of pickles in this and then just leave them places or throw them in orders. This would be a good color for pickles. Like,
how long is that X bar?
I don't know. What you're thinking about for lights?
Easy Neo, yeah.
I don't know if I have any Neos in here. Hang on. I usually have like at least one.
You have a measuring stick.
I do, but I also might have the actual light. Oh, I do have a light. Here we go. Let's see.
Pull up. Oh.
Let's see.
What?
The only thing is, like, you could mount. There's no really good way to mount it, so it is long enough. But the question would be how to mount it. You'd almost have to like make an adapter that like goes into the top here, and I don't think this is not T-slot.
Oh, it's not.
This is not even T-slot. However, we do have 2 screws here for this and these. I mean, we could get creative and figure out a way to mount this on here, but and this board would run it because it is able to run the STM firmware. All right, I want to see what's inside here, fan wise and stuff.
Looking on.
And one of the things we do, for those of you guys who are just joining that are familiar with this, one of the things we do, this was a printer that was already built. But when we do reviews, we tear into everything. We get inside the electronics, we check how they terminated the wires, what power supply they're using, what board they're using. There's not many other people on YouTube or anywhere that go into the level of detail we do. I'm just very anal about all the stuff we do. So, all right. Is this a 50-15? This is a 50-15 in here. Tor. And it's a 30 millimeter on the hot end. Is it a 30? I think it's a 30. It is a... Oh, hang on. It's a 30. So if you want to note that. It's like a V6... It's like a V6 with a V5 block on it. Do you see this? Like it's a V6 heatsink with a V5 block.
What?
It's very weird. Maybe this would need a V6. No. This is such a weird... Let's take a look at what nozzle they use in here. Hang on. I'm going to have to heat this up. Hang on. Because this is the other thing we do, too. We take apart the machines to see what's inside them. So then when we're you guys are buying parts from us, we can tell you, yes, this will work, instead of what a lot of sellers do is like, oh yeah, it'll work, and they have no idea. Like,
if I don't know, I'll have you check.
yeah. Let's see here. I need... Oh, look at that! It just started unscrewing. That's great. So the heat break wasn't even tight.
Oh, good thing you checked now. Would have been a whole lot of issues down the road.
Yeah. Let's just see what kind of nozzle this is rocking. Based on the length of the threads, it'll tell me if it's an MK8 or a V6, and it's a MK8 style. So the MK8 nozzles would fit this, which we
that's
carry.
what it looked like in the picture.
Yeah, this is like some weird like bastardization of a hot end setup here.
I really hate when companies do that.
I mean, you could change the heater block out on this.
I know, but like it's like
Hang on.
reality.
Okay, it's I was like waiting for, I was trying to thread this back in,
phone.
but it's like getting hot. Woo, okay. Just gotta work fast. All right, I'm gonna put this at 240C, and we're gonna do a hot tighten here because I want to make sure Brian doesn't have issues with this coming undone. So we're gonna line this up. We want the heater block like this. I'll line this up. This whole setup is really weird here. This is kind of a pain to work on. Come on, let me get the fan clasp off here. Come on. Okay. Because basically I need to grab the heatsink here, because this is rotating in the extruder. So basically get this around here and then tighten that up. And hopefully I don't trip thermal runaway. But if I do, all right, so that's tightened down there now. All right. Yeah, so 50-15 fan for the cooling.
Yeah. That box scares you? Yeah.
What's that?
It just completed a print.
A lot of the printers have that. Where's my 2.5? All right. Okay. I mean, all in all, not bad. Like, I'm looking at printers, I try to take into account like what do you pay for it versus what do you get, and I think still this is a pretty good bang for the buck for how much printer you get and what features you get.
Especially for some of the sales you can get it on.
How is this sock even staying on here? He had this MK8 sock. I think it was literally stuck on here with filament. This is not the right size sock for this. I don't even carry socks for that style heater block. But I mean, like if you change, if like I change the heater block out for a V6 one, then I could put a sock on there. But this is like a V5 style block. I'm just putting the probe mount back on here. All right. Yeah, I mean, like, if I sold these, I would change the heater block out. I put, like, the V6 style on it. Like, I would not ship it with this heater block. Why is this screw not biting in? Is this a shorter...
I look at the whole, like, hot end setup.
What's that?
If I got it, I would look into it like a whole hot end setup, a whole duct setup.
Like change the cooling. Like if I sold this, I mean the extruder would probably be fine. I don't know if we'd be able to put like our Tough Extruder V2 on there instead of like
There's an adapter for a Dragonfly. That's nice.
Well, it's a groove mount hot end on here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, like, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's running fine. I'm gonna play and see if I can enable. I think it's the square wave stepping that makes the TMCs less angry when they're in standalone mode. I am going to update the firmware once again, though, on here. Let me see here. KP3S Pro, because I'm going to change the... all right, I'm going to go choppy again because I'm going to be doing a compile, but I'm going to change the probe edge so it probes out to the edge a little more. I mean, like, I'm not saying I am going to sell these, but if I did, I would have the screen on here. Obviously, the bed leveling, change the heater block out, change the fan out. Am I lagging?
A little bit, yeah.
Lagging.
Thought that was me. Have a good one, Flip.
Good night, Flipsaw. All right, we are almost done compiling, which means my video should stop being crap. All right. And then I'm going to do an update to the firmware tonight so this can go live. I'm very happy with this. All right. The extruder lever is a little jank. Yeah, it is. But you know what? It works. It's like it's really cheap. But it works. Like, it's better than most extruders that come with printers, even today.
True.
I mean, like, I've seen...
still with the plastic realities type.
Well, even like the... Even like the extruders that come on like some of the bamboos, which are like more expensive, they're pretty janky looking. Like there's a lot of plastic. You know, like I'll take the Titan design over a lot of stuff I've seen out there. All right, now when I do the probing, it should go further out on the bed on this side especially, because I changed the probe edge. There we go. And the reason it doesn't go as far over on the right is because their nozzle cannot travel outside of the bed area, especially on this. You don't want it running off. There we go. And it doesn't really matter because when it gets the mesh, it knows how everything's tilted. So it will then, it'll do an implied tilt of, if it sees it going like this, like kind of like up that way, it'll assume that it goes like that all the way out to the edge, and it works really well. So, yeah, I don't think I really have much more to say. I mean, all in all, like, the printer's a good little printer. You know, as with any of them, a couple little caveats, but for the price, it's pretty good. I just realized we got dual rails on the Y. Did you notice that, Tor?
I did. Yeah,
dual rail
I'm
and dual linear rails.
For how much you can get this for.
That's what I'm saying.
Dual rails.
It's all linear rails. There's no V slot. There's linear rails on the Z, the X, and the Y. There's two on the Y. I mean, like, here, look how stable the bed is with the solid mount on it.
The whole table.
I know, like
200 millimeter build volume.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with what they were able to cram on there. What do you guys think? What does chat think? Let's see, we got 40 people watching. Wow, we actually retained quite a few people on Twitch. What's up, Twitch? I'm gonna go ahead and while we're waiting, we're just gonna hang out and chat for a little bit here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the firmware changes that I just did here updated. You know, we do a lot of testing on stuff. I'm very big, and I'm not saying we get everything perfect, but we do a lot of testing to try to make sure we get it as close to, just install the hardware, install the software, and be done with it as we can for our customers. So I go through the struggle bus with you. Looks good. Yeah, it looks really good, especially for the price. Like I said, I kind of want to go buy one because this one has to go back to my buddy. I kind of want to buy one because it is a nice little machine. I really like it. So what are your guys' thoughts? And if you guys have any questions about FDM printers in general, go ahead and ask. I have time here, and I don't mind answering questions.
If it could do something my other printers currently do, I would probably grab it because I think I have like 60 or 70 bucks on AliExpress, so I could get it for $100.
I need a pro kit for it. I wonder. Okay, here's the thing: if we took the time to put together like a bundle to like add ABL, change the heater block out, the solid bed mounts, the LCD parts already printed for you in ABS with all the extra screws that are required. The new copper, like basically all the stuff I just did, because like, and the new fan. So basically all the stuff I would do to it to make it like even better, maybe even a better cooling duct. Like I don't know if people would buy it. Like that's the whole thing, is like there's a lot of stuff that we can do, but there's been too many little projects we've like done, and then like that gets no traction.
Nothing comes of it.
Yeah, because one of the other things we thought about doing too is like for certain printers, like drop shipping the printer and then sending out like a package. Like you buy everything from us, we'll have the manufacturer drop ship the printer out to you. And then like obviously we would handle support on the printer because you bought it through us, and then all the upgrades that go with it. Or even just doing them pre-upgrade and putting them back in the box. If you look at Kingroon's Facebook group, their own store and customer support, yeah, none of these Chinese companies are great at support. Like even I've heard even with Bamboo, like people said that their support's not great, which it sadly seems to be the status quo with a lot of these Chinese companies, and they get away with it because people let them, right? So, I'm looking here just like what kind of mods people are printing for this printer. I do really like this printer. Like it's adorable, and it's really well priced. Like it's an adorable little printer.
Like, I didn't want Bamboo A1.
What's up?
So if I didn't want the Bamboo A1 Mini with AMS.
Yeah, the only reason I would ever get a Bamboo is if I actually had a need for multi-material. So let's see.
It is the one thing I don't really have right now, is multi-material.
Well, and the thing is, I had multi-material setups. Like I had the Palette 2S Pro, and it worked. I just never use it because I don't do enough stuff that requires multi-material. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I ended up selling it because it was just sitting there collecting dust. You know.
Well, I did like the Y adapter 2-in-1.
Yep. I messed with those. I totally forgot about those. That's been a while.
Like I got some good prints out of it, or some okay prints, but it was just such a pain. It was never 100%.
I got the Ender 5 Plus upgrade from the Sunlight SA. Friend paid for basically half of the Ender. Yeah, I love my 5 Plus. I got to get it back together. The fan on the hot end died, and I haven't had anything that needed to use it, so it's been sitting there taken apart for a couple months. But I also have it enclosed too, but I haven't had any big ABS jobs or jobs that need that build volume, so it hasn't. That's the only printer I have that's down right now. I do have an SV07, a Solval SV07. It's sitting in the box. It's not new. John at Tripod's Garage sent that to us. He did not like it at all. So I sent him a label and he sent it to me. The next printer we're going to do a full build video on is the SV05. So basically our plans here are the SV05 after this. And then we're going to be doing Mercury 1 dev work. Like we're going to do streams hanging out. I'm going to print all the parts, and you guys are going to get to watch me fumble putting together Mercury 1. Because I have the Mercury 1 kit. I have the Mercury 1 kit here. And I have 2 Ender 5. So the goal is we're going to get familiar. Tor's already familiar with the Mercury 1 kit. He's built, what, 1 or 2 now?
2 of them. One custom built and one
from an Ender 5. Yeah. So I have 2 Ender 5. So one, I'm going to learn the ropes, cut my teeth on it. I want to be able to have full kits for the Mercury 1 out by the end of the year. That's my goal. So, and if you guys are not familiar with the Mercury 1, it's a Core XY conversion kit for the Ender 5. Tori actually designed a whole new frame, so we don't even need the Ender 5. I know they were working on that now, but we were doing that before they even announced it.
No, they were doing it before.
Were they? Okay, I didn't have any idea.
On it behind the scenes.
Oh, behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah. So, but with the Clipper, so I have 3 Clipper machines here that we're going to be digging into as well and doing our own firmware for. And it's not going to be Marlin; it'll be Clipper builds. So like getting all the configs together, making sure everything works right, like make sure filament changes work, make sure all the settings are dialed in. We have the K1 new in the box that we're going to be looking at messing with the Clipper, making our own Clipper build for. The SVO7 is one that I'm going to mess with as well, and also the Kingroon T500. So I have all 3 of those machines here. The only other printers I have that have not been worked on yet are for Marlin machines are SVO5 and the Soval SVO4. The SVO4 is going to be more of a tinker thing. That's an IDEX one. So, but what I'd like to do is us to have like kind of what we did with Unified, but do the same thing with Clipper. So basically we get the printer, we get everything fine-tuned in, and I'd like to have a Clipper, like a regular Clipper build, not the company's bastardized version of Clipper, so people can actually have the full Clipper experience with none of their cloud crap. So I'm going to see if that's something that is feasible to do in terms of being able to provide, hey, here's how you install the software on the printer, here's how to do the update, you know, or if some of these printers are going to be like where it's very involved and you're having to solder and, you know, do other stuff to get access to reflash the memory on there. I'm going to figure that out, and then we'll do kind of the same thing we did with our Unified 2, except with Clipper for specific printer models, which I think that would be great. Because a lot of these machines that are coming to Clipper, they're somehow also screwing up Clipper. So, doesn't matter what firmware is, they mess it up. Your tank's looking better, Tor. Your fish tank.
It is.
But yeah, I think we're going to be... I think we're wrapping this up. You guys got any questions before we head off for the night? Bueller? Next stream, I should have a fully working compile box, so my stream doesn't go to absolute shit.
Yay! Should be good.
Yeah. I'm just looking for chat. Thank you, guys. Would Sonic pads be an option? So the problem with the Sonic pad is they're running stolen code and they haven't released the source code. I have a Sonic pad sitting in the box behind me right next to the BTT Pad 7. My recommendation is if you are going with a Clipper pad, give Big Tree Tech your money. I know hell just froze over because I'm not a huge fan of Big Tree Tech's products. However, I have been finding that their higher end products actually don't suck. So like their SKR mini series boards are not great. They're very cheap boards, but like their Octopus stuff has been pretty good. The Manta stuff's been pretty good. Yeah, is there an SVO7 Plus?
Oh my god.
I know there's an SVO7. Is there a Plus? No, there is a Plus.
Of course there is. There's probably a Plus Pro S1 V2.
I have a regular 07. Okay. Oh, did they finally release the firmware? Because if they release the firmware, I'll start doing stuff with it. Because nobody's let us know that they haven't. I've just been operating under the information that I have that's up to date, which was that they were stealing code still and haven't released source. Have they finally released source? Yeah, you can put Clipper on the KP3S Pro and the KP3S. They have supported processors. Well, I hope you guys go ahead and subscribe to us. We do send out notifications. I actually forgot to send one out today, but typically we do send out notifications. I'm gonna change the wording because right now it says like YouTube notifications. But I'm going to change it to just get like stream notifications. If you guys want to be added to that list, you can go ahead and click that link in the chat. I just posted that out. And you guys will get emails when we post new videos or when we schedule streams. Like I said, I usually send one out. I forgot to do today's because today was kind of like last minute. But we typically will send out video notifications and stream notifications to let you guys know in case like the service that you're using doesn't actually do what it's supposed to, which is send out the notifications. So, but yeah, Pete says the BTT Pad 7 was on sale for $116.99. That's a really good price for that. Sebastian says, I know the engineer who designed a Sonic Pad. He built amusement park rides in Shenzhen before. I've seen amusement park rides in Shenzhen. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, with lax safety laws and no regard for human life, you can do a lot of cool stuff.
Right. But it'll be fun.
But yeah, I'm going to change the mailer. We use MailerLite for all our stuff. I'm going to change that list to show just video notifications, because that's basically what it is. Because we're on all platforms. I don't play favorites with platforms. We want to reach as many people as possible. So, but anyways, with that, Tori, you can stay on for a sec. But everybody hanging out, I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Thank you for all the new faces. Loyal Moses again. I don't know if you're still here. Thanks for giving us a raid. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. I love hanging out and working on printers. We do a lot of random streams where we're just hanging out and working on printers. We're all just, I'll be working on something. Tori will be working on something. We'll have random people from the community drop in. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And as always, happy printing. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye now.
Have a good one.